An old light bulb gets hot enough to burn your fingers. An LED barely gets warm. Same brightness, but one of them is wasting almost all its electricity. LED stands for light-emitting diode. A diode is a one-way gate for current, built from a material called a semiconductor. The whole trick is in those first two words, light-emitting. An old bulb doesn't emit light. It makes light by heating a thin wire until it glows white-hot. That is a terrible way to make light. Only about 5% leaves as light, the rest pours off as heat. An LED skips that step and turns electricity straight into light, closer to 40% of it. Same room, same brightness, a small fraction of the power, and a bulb that lasts years instead of months. So how does it make light without making heat? Inside is a sliver of semiconductor split into two halves. One half, the inside, is packed with spare electrons, tiny negative charges. The other half, the P side, is full of holes, empty spots that behave like positive charges. Where the two halves meet is called the junction. Everything happens there. Switch the bulb on, and voltage pushes the electrons from the inside toward the P side. At the junction, each electron drops into a waiting hole. It loses a precise amount of energy on the way down, and that energy leaves as a single particle of light, a photon. One electron, one photon. Do that trillions of times a second and you get a steady glow. The size of the drop sets the color. A bigger drop makes bluer light, a smaller one makes redder light. A bare LED chip glows blue, so we paint it with yellow phosphor, which soaks up some of that blue and re-emits it as yellow. Blue and yellow arriving together read as white to your eye. An LED does still make heat, it just doesn't use heat to make light. So a real bulb adds two more parts, a driver circuit to tame the current, and a metal heat sink to carry the warmth away. That's the whole story. Electrons fall across a junction and light comes straight out. No white-hot wire, up to 90% less energy, and a bulb that can run for a decade or two. Here's the puzzle we left you. If an LED never uses heat to make its light, why does it still need a metal heat sink? Tell me in the comments.